Hello students, welcome to the session. So in this session, I'm going to be talking about pandas. Pandas, they're used for exploratory data analysis. They're also used for importing and exporting data, for data cleaning, for creating and deleting columns or rows, and many other operations related with your tabular data. So let's look at some of them. First, you want to make sure that your Panda is installed. I'll copy this, come over here, and paste this. So run this command. Make sure you have pandas installed. In case if you don't, your panda will get installed. In my particular case, I already have pandas installed. So let's see what it gives me. All right. So it says requirement already satisfied. So this is the message I'm going to you will receive if you have pandas installed on your machine. All right. So now let's import our pandas. I import my pandas as PD. I create an alias, and I'm also suppressing my warnings. And my data file is data.csv. Let's run this. Oh, let's run this again. And okay, error is gone. Oh, sorry, warnings are gone. Now let's create a data frame. So let's say you have a data in the form of a dictionary. You have name, these are the name of people, age, these are the ages, and is working, whether they are working or not, and these are the incomes. And you want to convert this dictionary into a data frame. So think of this name, age, is working, income. These are columns. This is a column name, and this is the value for that column. This is a column name, and these are the values. And you convert this dictionary into a data frame using this command. And then I print my df, and I also print my type of df, so that you know, so that we get to see what type of data, what type of this data frame is. And, and you can see your name. You see Ash, Timmy, Jimmy, Samantha. Ash, Timmy, Jimmy, Samantha. And then your age is another column. These are the corresponding values. Is working, another column, and these are corresponding values. And then you have income, and these are my corresponding values. So these values, they are obtained, or they are found from this dictionary right here. Okay. Okay, and look at my type. What type of data frame there is? It's a data frame right there. It tells you it's a data frame. So this is one way to creating a data frame. Here I'm manually adding a value. Reality is, you're not going to be doing this thing. You're going to be importing data from a file, or you'll be exporting data to a file. So let's try to export this data. Let's start with exporting first. How do you export a data? Uh, there are different ways of exporting data. Pandas gives you flexibility. So in this case, I say df to CSV, and then I specify my CSV file name, and I say my index equal to false. If you say index equal to true, it's going to give, it's going to print 0, 1, 2, 3. These numbers, these are your indexes. It's going to print those indexes in your CSV file. I don't want that. So let me just remove this. All right, so I'm df to CSV, junk CSV, index equal to false. Now my default separator is going to be comma. So let's run this. And let's go take a look at the file. And if you come over here, you're going to see this junk.csv. There it is. Let's open it up. Let's open with Notepad. And you can see my default is comma. You see my default separator is comma. So as you can see, this is my values right here. These are my values, okay? And these are the values inside your notepad. So all these values have been transferred inside your notepad. Samantha 19 true 55.9. Samantha 19 true 55.9. Each and every values is separated by comma. The comma is my separator, or another word is delimiter. All right. Now you can also use a different separator. Let's say you don't want to use a comma. You want to use separator as a semicolon. You can do that too. Let's run this again. All right, successfully ran. Go back, open up your file again, and this time you see my separator is semicolon. You see, I used a semicolon, right here. And now look at my separator is semicolon, or every single value is separated by semicolon. Okay. Now I can also transfer this file. I can also export this file or this data to a XLS file. So this is my Microsoft XLS file. So in this case, I'm saying to Excel, this is my name of my file, index equal to false, sheet name, I'm calling it my sheet. Let's run this. Come over here, and you're going to see junk.xls right there. Let's open it up. And there you go. So as you can see, this is your file right here. Okay. Let me minimize this so it's visible. All right. And as you can see, these are my values: Ash, Timmy, Jimmy, Samantha, Ash, Timmy, Jimmy, Samantha. And you can see my name on my sheet, my sheet 1. That's what I called it. If you come over here and right there, you see that my sheet 1, my sheet 1, exactly same sheet name, same data exported into an XLS file. Okay, you can also export to a JSON file. So let's run this. I exported to JSON files, and now let's take a look at the JSON file. This is your JSON file. Open it up on a notepad, and there you go. And as you can see, exactly same record, Ash 30, true 24.4. And name is Ash, age is 30, is working, true, income 20.4. So each one of these values, okay, each one of these values, they have a corresponding record over here. So this is your JSON file. Okay. You can also export to pickle. This is another one, junk.pkl. Let's run this. Come over here, and you're going to see junk.pkl. You cannot view this file because these are binary files. All right, go back and let's comment this thing out. Okay, so I showed you different ways to export data to a file. Now let's talk about importing data from a file. I have a data file called data.csv, and let's read that file. So let me show you data.csv. How does it look like? There it is. It's a comma separate value. All right, as you can see, it's a comma separate value. You see name, age, city, experience, experience 2, salary, passport number, bonus, hours. So these are my column names, okay, and these are my corresponding values for each column. All right, so this is my CSV file. I read this file and I print this file, df_pd.read_csv. So there's a method called read_csv that's going to read your CSV file, and by default is going to assume that your separator is comma, and then I print this file, and as you can see, it prints the content of the file over here. So if you take a look at the file, this is my file right here. Let me increase the size. Okay, this is my file, and these are exactly same content of that file. So let's look at the first one, Alice 25 Chicago, Alice 25 Chicago, and so on and so on. Last one is Jerry, okay, Jerry 23 Phoenix, and Jerry 23 Phoenix, so on and so forth. Okay. Now, different ways to import file from a local computer now. So let's talk about importing different ways. This was simple file, we just imported one way. I can read data. Okay, I can read a CSV file and I can specify my separator now as semicolon in case my separator is semicolon. So I have a file called data_semicolon.txt, and let me show you what's inside that file. So it's this one right here. Let me open it up. And this is my file: name, age, place of birth. So every value over here is separated by a semicolon. All right. So in this case, name, semicolon, age, semicolon, place of birth. Ash, comma, Kumar, this is one value, semicolon, 23, semicolon, moon. Samir, comma, Khosla, semicolon, 32, semicolon, HR, Haryana. So every value is separated by semicolon, and there are some commas between, but those commas are not separated. Those are part of your values. So if I run this, it's gonna print my values like this. So name, age, place of birth, name, age, place of birth, Ash, comma, Kumar, 23, moon, Ash, comma, Kumar, 23, moon, Samir, comma, Khosla, 32, HR, Haryana. So as you can see, it is using my separator as a semicolon, not as a comma. Okay. Now let's look at the real data. So this is a California house data, and let me show you this data. Data, California. There it is. Let's open this file up, and this is your data file. So as you can see, longitude, latitude, housing, median, total rooms, total bedroom, population, household income, every single value is separated by a semicolon. Okay, semicolon, semicolon. So sometimes you want to use semicolon for separator. You don't want to use comma because your values may contain comma in it. So you do not want that conflict to happen. In order to avoid that conflict, you have the liberty to choose some other separator. All right, so I run this, print it out, and it prints out my values right here. Okay, there was a CSV file. So median income, median house value, household, it gives me all the values. It tells me 3,000 rows, total 9 columns. You can also read a CSV file from Excel. So you can read a CSV file from Excel. So in this case, I'm calling it read underscore Excel data.xlsx. Sheet name is sheet1. So let's look at the file first, data.xlsx. If you come over here, you're going to see right there. That's the one. Let's open it up. And this is my data right there. Name, age, city, experience, and so on and so forth. So let me minimize this. All right. And let's run this. And these are my values. And this is exactly same as this right here. You can see Alice, Bob, Charlie, David, Eva, Frank, Grace, Helen, Jerry. You see that? Exactly same values. Everything is same. So this data frame read its data from an Excel sheet. And the name of the sheet is sheet 1 right here. Sheet 1, sheet 1. Okay, so you can read from an Excel, you can read from a CSV file, you can also read from a JSON file. So in this case, I have this JSON file, data.json. So let me show you the data.json. There it is. Let's open it up. Notepad. And as you can see, this is my JSON file. And let me increase the size. All right, so let's run this. And this is my data. Let's take a look at the JSON file again. And let me move this a little bit up so you can see. And let me increase the size. There you go. So you have name, age, all right, name, age, uh, city, experience 2, salary, so on and so forth. So it's giving you name, age, city, experience 2, salary. You see that it gives you all these values. So all these values are obtained from a JSON. This is your JSON file. Okay. You can also read from a pickle file. Now pickle file, they are binary files. So you cannot view them in a notepad. But you can view them using these data frame right here. So this is my pickle file. I'm reading it from pickle file. Displaying the data. And there are a lot of ways you can display your data. So let's say you have this data file, data.csv, you read your data, and then you print your data. And if I run this, it's going to print all my records right here. Okay, 0 to 10, total 11 records. Maybe I don't want to see all the records. I just want to see only the first three rows. If you want to see the first three rows, you type df.head 3. You type 3 over here, and that's going to show you the first three rows. And as you can see, it displays only the first three rows. Okay, 0, 1, 2. Now, if you want to see the last three rows, you type df.tail3. That's going to show you the last three rows. So this, as you can see, 8, 9, 10. You see the last three index right there. This is the last three rows. If you want to see randomly, okay, if you want to say show me any three random rows, you can do df.sample and you specify n equal to 3. That's going to give you three random rows. Okay, as you can see, there are three random rows right here. We picked up from the data frame three random rows. Or you want to see, okay, 20% of the rows. Pick up a sample of 20% of the rows, random 20% of the rows. You say frac equal to 0.2. And that's going to give you 20% of your rows. This is your 20% of your data. Or you want to see sample with replacement with no duplicates. Okay, you don't want any duplicates. So in this case, uh, in this case, duplicates will happen because I'm saying replace equal to true. So as you can see, this value and this value is getting repeated twice. You see that? It got repeated twice because you did specify replace equal to true. If you say replace equals to false, this is not going to give you duplicate. And then finally, there is this. Sample three random rows with consistent output each time it runs. So this is called for reproducibility. If I run this right now, it's going to give me this answer, 509. If I run it again, it's going to give me 509 again, 509, 509, because I put random state equal to 42. So this is called reproducing your result. All right. And okay. All right. All right. Thank you, gentlemen.